Hey, how's it going? All right, I got this clip. This is George Zimmerman hearing part 6 posted by State of the Internet, and it's basically, the entire, this is just a little portion of the entire hearing, and I'm just going to talk about it. It's where Benjamin Crump gets pulled into it. I thought it was funny because, remember, Benjamin Crump isn't really involved in this case other than he's the lawyer for Trayvon's parents, and they really don't have any bearing in this case as far as any standing. They don't have any power. They can't depose witnesses and stuff like that. So I was kind of surprised to find out that Benjamin Crump spent time interviewing a witness that the rest of the world didn't even know existed as a witness at the time, and then suddenly he's able to depose her before anyone else. So the issue of her testimony to him before the rest of the world got to hear it was, up in this hearing, they wanted to find out what the heck is going on. So Crump gets sucked into it. And what's really interesting, and you'll see that here in a minute, is that he tells us that he's in cahoots with the FBI in the process of doing this recording of her statement. The way he tells us that is he says, using the FBI's state-of-the-art recording equipment, they were able to make this most excellent recording. Basically, what he's telling us is there is definitely collusion between him and the FBI during this recording time. So, the recording that we haven't heard yet, we've got the recording, at least the one that I've heard, is Detective Serino questioning this girl and actually leading her. And I spent some time on that recording and talk about it. In fact, it's the first 3 videos that I made concerning this entire case was discussing her statement to the police. So anyhow, I wanted to point this out because a lot of people probably won't watch all of these clips, or if you're able to find one big clip where it's like a 2-hour clip, that would be ideal, especially without all the commentary from Trent, because that it's hard to hear sometimes when they talk over the actual recording. So let me go ahead and start it, and we'll talk about it.
And you've been able to hear her discussing the alleged recorded interview of witness number 8 that you made. Could you please tell us how this came about? What process did you use, or what means did you use to record it? And if you still have that recording?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. It was recorded by telephone. We got the information to the FBI, who had the most sophisticated recording devices, I guess, in the United States. And that recording was then preserved by them and given to the state of Florida. It was very hard to hear because it was on the telephone. We were trying to hear clearly the recording on the telephone, but it was difficult to hear. And there were people in the room, and I have told the state.
All right. So there he tells us that, absolutely tells us that it was, he says he's talking about the FBI, that they're using their most, their top of the line equipment. And, it's hard to hear because it's over the phone, but of course, the FBI is doing their best. And that brings up a question to the lawyers on George's side. They want to know who it is that made this recording and why was the FBI involved, and why, really, my question would be, who the hell is Crump to go around questioning witnesses? What he should have done was gone to the police department and said, hey, I've got this witness, and she says that she was on the phone with Trayvon at the time, so we really need to depose her right away. That's what should have happened. But by him doing this, it gives an opportunity for him to lead her and to teach her and train her as to what to say. Because remember, she didn't come out for quite some time. Trayvon had been dead for, I believe it was at least a couple weeks. I can't be exactly sure because I don't remember, but I remember it was a while. And then suddenly she pops up. We don't really have access to any of the phone records. I don't have access to anything that would prove to me that she was actually on the phone to him. I don't have it in my possession. I'm not saying that they don't have it. So let's continue with this.
Preserved by them and given to the state of Florida. It was very hard to hear because it was on the telephone. We were trying to hear clearly the recording on the telephone, but it was difficult to hear. And there were people in the room, and I have told the state of Florida anything that they will require of us, of Trayvon's family, we will absolutely cooperate in any way, fashion, or form. I understand.
So again, he tells us there are people in the room. And then he's like trying to straighten it out and say, well, Trayvon's family was trying to point out, but he didn't. But, just a minute ago, he told us the FBI had their recording equipment. So I don't know what he means by their recording equipment, unless he means they were there recording it.
Ask questions and deposition about the issue. We're ready to go at great length to give the court and officers of the court anything at all they want.
Let me interrupt you for 1 minute. The people who were in the room, did you have it on speakerphone?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to need a list of the names of the people who were present who could hear both sides of the conversation.
Okay.
And that.
So they're going to pretty much have to give the court an entire list of everybody that was in the room, and that would include any FBI agents or anyone else. Now, so far, they've handed over partial information and partial documentation when asked. And I mean, if you're not very specific in your requests, they'll just say, well, you didn't ask for it. But that's not the case here. We're being very specific, and we're saying, tell us who was in the room. We don't want to just know about Trayvon's family. We want to know everybody else. Was the FBI in there? Who else was in that room at the time?
To both the state and the defense.
Okay.
And do you still have that recording on your phone?
I would check. The FBI got it, but I will certainly check.
Now that, that's an obvious, he doesn't want to lie to the judge. He's right now, he's got to be honest. But he knows that whether that thing is on that phone or not. I mean, you've got to physically delete the file. And, most people, I don't know if the people that are listening to my video have removed things from their phone, but generally things just stay there forever. I mean, you got so much space on the phone, and then you've got the card. I've got videos and pictures from when I first got the phone 2 years ago. I've got tons of just pretty much everything. I just leave it all on there, and because there's just so much space. I've never had to remove stuff to make room on my phone. So, some people probably do because they make long recordings and stuff like that, and he might have. But, I would like to see that. And certainly, did he remove that file and leave a bunch of others that were just useless and all around it, like he just reached in and picked that one out? That would be weird. I would like to hear his recording on his phone and the recording that the FBI have and compare them, because so far everything that they've given us has been partial or not actual, and they can be cutting and pasting and twisting and turning as far as we know. But if you can get two copies, at least we can compare them and see if we can find anything that's a problem.
Please, I his deposition set?
No, but maybe we can get the list of the people who are in the rooms now so we can put them on our witness
You may
list.
not have them now, but I'll give you 10 days to.
Yeah, you
provide
fucking dick.
in the defense.
That was Trent.
Lucky he was there today.
Your phone, please do not erase it. And if it is on your phone, if you would bring it to you to the deposition so the attorneys will have an opportunity to
I'd
listen
erase
to
that
it
shit
at that time.
quicker.
Absolutely, Your
Why
Honor.
would
The
you
family
say
has
nothing?
been willing
I
to
just wouldn't-
participate in any
it's-
way that the court would have.
They don't need it. This is completely irrelevant bullshit that we're discussing right now.
Yes, you may.
Mr. Crump, you mentioned the FBI. Was the FBI involved in making this recording?
No, sir.
And what do you mean by the FBI having sophisticated recording equipment?
Sir.
Those are questions that could be asked.
As you can see, he does not want to answer that question. So he is busted. This is him being busted. And look at that face. This is just an amazing thing to see. I'm just thrilled. He is. I don't know. He's probably having a real bad day today. But here he is, completely busted. Now, they're going to go ahead and continue, and we're going to find out the chain of how that, what happened to this recording and how it came into being and stuff. But now the judge is going to find out by asking somebody else. CRUMP here has, he's going to shut up.
Yeah.
He's not on the witness list, Judge.
He's been identified in the media.
Give the deposition.
I know that, but he's not on the witness list. The state has not offered Mr. Crump as a person who knows something about
The
this
court's going to
case.
make him a witness for the purpose of taking a deposition regarding this issue. So you can take a step.
Okay, so the judge just right here made CRUMP a witness concerning these issues. So that means now, CRUMP before wasn't even on the witness list. Now he's going to have to be deposed. They're going to have to bring him in and question him under oath. And he very well may be part of the trial now because of sticking his nose in there like he did. But I love how this trial lawyer snagged him on this thing, nailed him. Okay, now CRUMP's going to have to answer for what he meant by the FBI with their awesome recording system. This is going to be interesting. The FBI wasn't there, but they were recording it. Explain that.
We'll schedule that as soon as we're able.
Okay? And if you will please bring your phone, just the phone, if the attorneys wish to hear it,
And she just told him to bring his phone. This is good.
they may do so together at that time.
Okay, I will certainly check it.
A couple of follow-up.
So he says, I'll be sure to check it. She said, bring it. He said, I'll be sure to check it to see if it's got the file on there. In other words, he's not going to bring it unless he finds the file. Well, if he ends up at the deposition without the phone, then that's going to be a major tell. He's up to some no good, some serious stuff. And it's not going to work, though, because what did he do with his phone? Where is his phone? If he's still got it to check it, it's obviously still in his possession. He shouldn't have another phone. If he does have a different phone when he comes to the deposition, what happened to the phone that he had when the judge ordered him to bring it? We're going to want to know that stuff. So he's going to have to supply that phone. And we will be able to find the file, even if he goes into the phone and tries to kill the file, it will still be recoverable. Even if they can't recover the file, they'll be able to verify that it went through and that it was, and exactly when it was deleted.
For clarification. Mr. Crump is still directed to provide the names of the persons. Yes, and also the circumstances under which the recording was released to the media, and the circumstances under which it was provided to the FBI, if in fact it was. Is that what happened? After you recorded the phone?
That will be taken up in a deposition.
What does it have to do with that?
If you're not able to get whatever answers you want in a deposition, then you can let me know. But I don't want to take up our time here today deposing Mr. Crump. First of all, he's not under oath. So,
You can say
you can
anything
ask
you
him
really
those questions.
not
I'm
doing.
allowing.
Well, he is a
him the
lawyer, so
opportunity
he
within
kind of
10
Mr.
days
Crump
to
is,
have the
yeah.
names of the people who were in the room that could
So
hear
how did he get this
both
phone
sides of the
call?
conversation because
They
it
hired a
was
private
on
investigator.
speakerphone.
All right, the guy you're hearing in the background is Trent. He's the guy that recorded this video. Thanks, Trent, for recording the video. So he does talk over the conversation a little bit. It can be an irritation. You know, some people don't like the fact that I stop the video, but I don't like to talk over it. So, you know, maybe, you know, I would prefer him to stop the video when he's going to talk so that we can listen to the video. But either way, I appreciate the video.
The girl that was on the phone with Trayvon Martin because the Sanford PD didn't do it. And then they did a telephone interview with her, and Crump recorded it. Probably on a smartphone, you know, where he had it on speakerphone and was just recording the call because it is a bad quality.
Mr. De Randa didn't claim any source whatsoever, only that it showed up somewhere.
Those are questions that you can ask, and I'm not taking Mr. Crump's deposition here in the courtroom.
I can't take Mr. De Randa's depo, at least not yet. I'd ask the court to inquire of him so we can further this discovery. How did he get the tape? Who did he get it from? What's the chain of custody?
Mr. De Randa, who did you
I don't know if
get
that's
the tape
enough or
from?
not. It's not.
FDLE, who got it from the FBI, and I've already indicated that to Mr. West. But again, I'm not going to get into a banter here.
All right, now you can see he's really nervous. He doesn't want to get into a debate about it right here. This is, you know, you're trying to depose. No, all we're asking is, how'd you get the tape? So he says, well, I got it from the FDLE. That's Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And apparently they got it from the FBI. Okay, so we know that. So we've got the tape coming from the FBI to the FDLE going to the prosecution. But how'd the FBI get the tape? So now the judge is going to fill in the last part. She's going to say the FBI got the tape from Mr. Crump. And then everybody's going to be, okay, let's agree to that and go on through. But believe me, when they go through the depositions, they're going to verify that Mr. Crump and the FBI were involved together, and that Mr. Crump lied here when he said that the FBI were not involved, even after he just said that they used their recording system.
I'm abiding by the court's order in terms of not getting into
Who
a
got it from
dispute.
the FDLE, who got it from the FBI, who got it from Mr. Crump? There you go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crump.
Yes,
Is there
ma'am.
anything else in your motion to compel discovery that I can assist you with at this time?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Then you have the defense motion to schedule hearing.
So that's the end of that. And I just wanted to point out that Crump just stuck himself into this case big time. He is no longer on the outside. He is on the inside, and he's got himself a real problem. And he's lied to the judge while he's apparently under oath. I mean, if you're going to come up and stand before the judge in a courtroom and give testimony or this really wasn't testimony, but it was statements that were to be true to the court concerning this case, making him, you know, a perjurer. He's guilty of perjury. This is the same problem that George's wife is suffering. So we're going to see what happens with this. Certainly, the prosecution should hold, you know, Mr. Crump to the same standards they hold George's wife, wouldn't you think? So good talking to you. Talk to you later. Bye.